Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Leipzig, Manchester United and Man City have all required information from PSG about the potential transfer of Javi Simmons. Arsenal think they can sign Javi Simmons on loan and bring him in as an attacking option in midfield, but also to bolster the forward line. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. There's a lot of stories going on around Arsenal, and we will cover all of them in each and every video we put out. Now, this is according to L'Equipe, which has been collaborated by Sky Sports as well, and they're saying that Arsenal are said to be seriously interested in Javi Simmons if PSG decide to let the player leave this summer. There is uncertainty over Simmons' future at PSG, with the Dutchman reportedly unwilling to return to Paris following his loan spell at RB Leipzig. Right. So, a lot is going on there. A lot is going on in that tweet, in that message, and of course, do follow me on Twitter because that is where the first stories come in, and I break them on my Twitter page, and then we react them on this YouTube community. When it comes to Javi Simmons, this is not the first time Javi Simmons has been in the news around this Arsenal Football Club. In 2023, before he joined RB Leipzig on loan, Arsenal were interested. In 2022, before PSG sold him to PSV, again, Arsenal were linked to him. Arsenal were interested. A deal just didn't happen, and we picked up our losses and walked away, and Arsenal went and signed other players. Now, this is 2024. It is the third year straight that Arsenal are linked with Javi Simmons. It's either there is something special about this boy, or it's just a market opportunity that Arsenal have just failed to grab their hands onto. I mean, 2022, 2023, and now 2024. When you think about other players that have been linked with Arsenal in the past and we didn't get them, we have already moved on. Yuri Tillemans already moved on. Hausemoa already moved on. I mean, there are a couple of other quality players out there that Arsenal wanted. Max Aarons, we have already moved on. But Javi Simmons, I understand why Arsenal are still there. I understand why Arsenal are still very much interested in this 21-year-old, because he is very, very special. Get time. Watch the Netherlands these Euros. They're left with 2 games, I think, in their group. Get some time. Watch Javi Simmons. You're going to understand what I'm talking about. Now, first and foremost, this is a deal that is involving so many clubs. It's not just Arsenal. Manchester United, Bayern Munich, RB Leipzig, where he's been out on loan, and Manchester City as well. All these clubs are asking for information about Simmons from PSG. And of course, there's a possibility that he might stay at Paris Saint-Germain if the manager there is interested in keeping him, because again, they're trying to build that army of young players. They're trying to build the future. And you look at the signings they're making, you look at how they're assembling their team. They're clearly walking away from the system of splashing money on older players to building young talents, just like what Arsenal are doing at the moment. Now, Javi Simmons is a player I would sign 110% for Arsenal every single day. I would have signed him in 2022 before he signed for PSV. I would have signed him in 2023 before he went to RB Leipzig on loan, and I would sign him right now. If you don't know who Javi Simmons is, that is his picture on your screen. He's a 21-year-old Dutch maestro who can play as an 8, 10, attacking midfielder in general. He can also play on the left wing, right wing. He can also play as a false 9. One of his most impressive spells came at PSV Eindhoven. That was in the season 2022-2023 when we played them in the UEFA Europa League group stages. During that season, Javi Simmons accumulated 19 goals for PSV in that season. He is a special player. He is a special talent. And again, just at 21, you're looking at a player who's a little bit proven here and there. We're talking about a boy that has gone to the Dutch Eredivisie and proven that he can do it. And then he has come to the German Bundesliga and he has proven that he can do it as well. Last season, he was starting football ahead of Benjamin Šeško. And we're talking about a Benjamin Šeško again, who is a real talent, one of the most sought after talents in terms of strikers in Europe. Šeško is a real talent. But Javi Simmons for me is something else, right? Where would he play at Arsenal? Everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. In that Odegaard position, we could give Odegaard the rest. He can play in midfield again alongside Declan Rice, or even ahead of Declan Rice in the number 8. And on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, you can play him in all those positions, and you're always gonna be all right. So I think for me, Arsenal are going to be spot on if they try to get this deal. If they try to get this deal done, that is absolutely very, very, genius from Mikel and genius from Edu. Now, in terms of the deal, it's a little bit difficult. Before we get into, what it offers to a club like Arsenal, the deal is a little bit difficult. Although many people think it is as straightforward as pay 40 million or 50 million and then sign him, right? I think his market value right now is around 45 million euros. I think PSG will want around that, or even something slightly above that. But I don't think that's the problem. The problem with this deal is Paris Saint-Germain don't want to sell him this summer, because that means that they'll have to give PSV a lot of money after this sale. So this is what happened. In 2022, PSG sold the player to PSV, and during that time, PSG included a buyback clause in the player's contract. When the player signed back from PSV to PSG, it's a little bit complicated, bear with me. So he signs from PSV back to PSG in 2023, right? When that happened, in that deal, there was what we call a sell-on clause. And a sell-on clause means that you'll have to give the other club some money when you sell the player. Now, that sell-on clause is only valid until January 2025. So if Javi Simmons is sold by PSG before January 2025, they'll have to pay a lot of money to PSV. That is what they don't want. So they would love to let him go. I don't think it's part of their plans. I don't think he's one of those players that the manager there, Luis Enrique, is looking to use. So they would love to let him go. They would love to get him off their books, but not yet, right? So it's going to be either a loan deal, or a club is going to be willing to take him out on loan with an obligation to buy. I think that is where, that is how the structure is going to work. And that's why I think that this is a very good deal for Arsenal. It's a little bit complicated, yes, but it's not very, very complicated. It's not too complicated. All you have to do is to negotiate with PSG, sign Javi Simmons on loan with an option to buy, a strong, serviceable option to buy, or with an obligation to buy in the summer of 2025, right? When you do that, that means that PSG win and they get whatever they were looking for, and Arsenal win as well, and we get whatever we were looking for. We are getting a generational talent. I don't think there is anything hard about that. So the price, I think, 40 to 48 million euros. That is what Arsenal should be paying. That is what we should be looking to pay. I don't think he's more than that at the moment. He's just 21. He's had 2 loan spells. I don't think he's in the 60s. I don't think he's in the 60s unless there is going to be a club that comes in and really, bullies everyone. Chelsea are not interested at the moment, according to reports. I don't see Bayern pay 60 million euros. I don't see Man United pay 60 million euros. And again, I don't see Man City coming strongly to pay 60 million for Javi Simmons. So that's why I think that this deal is there for the taking. If Arsenal want it, if we want to go out there and sign him, we can go and get that deal done. Now, what does he offer to Arsenal, and why do I think we should be doing it as a deal? Why do I think it's a very, very smart deal? Javi Simmons at his age definitely fits into this young Arsenal side. Again, the picture of what Arsenal wanted to do right from 5 years ago, 3 years ago under Mikel Arteta has not really changed that much. When you look at the caliber of players we are signing and their age bracket and their profile, it is still very, very similar. 23 to 25, players with leadership experience, players with a lot of football and a lot of footballing minutes under their belt. Players that can, come and take Arsenal to the next level. When you look at almost each and every signing that Arsenal made, those players have that element. They can take Arsenal to the next level. That is Javi Simmons. Goal scoring, absolutely. And we are looking at a summer where Arsenal might not sign a striker. I'm sorry to be the one that says this. We are looking at a summer where Arsenal might not sign a striker. And therefore, Javi Simmons, with his ability to score goals and with his ability to, create a lot of moments, in front of goal, it could be a very, very good opportunity for Arsenal. It could be a fantastic opportunity for Arsenal. Again, we might be talking about a guy that comes in and can play almost each and everywhere for Arsenal on the front line. Last season, he created 11 assists and scored eight times. That is 19 goal involvements for RB Leipzig in the German Bundesliga. Come on, guys. Come on. If you don't want Javi Simmons, you're clearly mistaken. You clearly have been misled by something or by someone. This is a remarkable talent. This is a remarkable player. A player that we're going to get for less than 50 million euros. If Arsenal can negotiate this deal into a loan deal and then, and then sign him in 2025, that would be even better. And I mean, listen, if we sign Javi Simmons on loan right now, that would allow Arsenal to spend good money, very good money, on a defensive midfielder, or even that might allow us to spend very good money on a striker. I won't be surprised if Arsenal walk away from this summer with one or two very good signings. I want Javi Simmons to be part of them. If we're going to do one midfielder in terms of a deep lying midfielder and one attacking midfielder, I want the attacking midfielder to be Javi Simmons. Because I know with Javi Simmons, you have a cover for Odegaard. We've been crying out for a cover for Odegaard. You also have a cover for Saka. You also have a cover for Martinelli and Trossard. And you also have a cover for Kai Havertz. Again, Kai Havertz is known, he could be invisible, but he's known immortal. He's going to pick up injuries. He's human. He will get tired. There will be burnout. And he'll get frustrated in some point in time. He might have a goal drought. There's so many things that could happen with Kai Havertz. So you need an immediate quality backup in those positions. For me, that is Javi Simmons. Where has he played predominantly? Now, much of his football has come while he's played in the midfield or on the left-hand side of attacks. Left wing, left central midfield. Left central midfield for Arsenal, I think that is a hard shot, a long shot for him to achieve with Declan Rice in that position. I just don't like Declan Rice playing for in the six. I've seen him for England, and I'm like, not good. And again, I think England, by the way, are struggling because of Declan Rice's position. I think they've got to find a player. They've got to find one player that is heavy on touches. One player that is really, really good, at receiving the ball and just passing it, receiving and passing it. One player that's going to average 120 touches in a game, like Jorginho for Italy, like Cruz for Germany, like I don't know who Spain we are using, but I would say Rodri at the moment. I mean, Spain is really talented. You've got Pedri that does that, can do that, and then you've got Rodri that does that very well, best in the world at doing that. So because Rice is not a heavy toucher in terms of having as many big volumes of touches, I think he's going to keep on playing the number 8 for Arsenal, and that creates I would say a second role. And that role is when Rice doesn't play, who plays there? When Odegaard doesn't play on the other side of Declan Rice, who plays there? That is the first role of Javi Simmons. The second role of Javi Simmons is that Bukayo Saka replacement. If you have Javi Simmons, I think you have a winger that is big on goal scoring and also has a lot of creativity. Again, you can play him ahead of Trossard. You can also play him in that false 9. So for me, I look at this as a perfect deal. If Fabio Vieira is to leave, if Emil Smith-Rowe is to leave, if a couple of players are going to leave Arsenal this summer, that is the boy I would love. That is the deal I would love to do. But of course, today at 9, we'll be discussing this with Glenn to see whether he also shares my opinions on Javi Simmons. The Glenn and Cossy podcast should be coming back if power doesn't go off. I mean, happens all the time. It always disturbs me. It always, makes my day go bad. But if power doesn't go off, we'll discuss with Glenn what should happen with Javi Simmons, and is the perfect replacement for ESR. I know a couple of people said Ethan Nwaneri should be the replacement for ESR, but I'm not 100% sold on to that. So Javi Simmons, as I've required information from PSG, let's see what happens there.